Mr. Chairman, I am very much indebted to you for your invitation to me to speak to you this evening. I am deeply touched by your kind words, which I am sure reflect the sentiments of the people of this great country. You have always shown deep understanding of not only the hopes and aspirations of our people, but also the trials, tribulations, and varied problems we had to labor against during our historic struggle for liberation. May I say, our movement for freedom took inspiration from the thoughts and deeds of some of your wonderful men. We have stood for freedom and democracy in our country because we believe that these ideals are common to all mankind and are indivisible. We realize that what takes place in one part of the universe has its echo in other places as well and affects the thinking of all people on an occasion like this. I know you will expect me to say something about my people and their culture to a distinguished audience like this, so well informed and enlightened. I have very little to say. But there is one basic fact about culture which is not very much appreciated. Our country is so diverse and so full of contradictions that what is true of some parts may be equally untrue of other parts. Nevertheless, there is an underrunning stream of unity, a unity in diversity which binds the whole nation. This is something which we have always cherished. Again, our country is one of poverty, but one which is fighting it with all its strength. If I were to select just one quality of ours which is essential for the working of real democracy, it is tolerance. Last week I was in another place which is also a great democracy, and I was asked a similar question about our high ideals and so on. My answer is simple. Like other countries, ours also is inhabited by human beings, and not all human beings are able to live up to high ideals. All the same, we must endeavor our best to work our way, often by difficult and painful means. Democracy means so many things. In the West, the meaning given to democracy is there should be a two-party system of government and that people must vote for one party or the other. In our country, we are often told that because we have too many political parties, our democracy is not complete, and that we must endeavor to evolve a two-party system. This, to my mind, is rather odd because two parties cannot absorb and assimilate all that is canvassed. Although I must admit that municipality of parties, as in India, is not of very great help to the people. Nevertheless, it is one phase in the process of evolution, and I do not think that it affects the basic concept of democracy. India, by large and means, has always remained a democratic nation. The sense of democracy, if I may use the expression, has derived from our heritage of tolerance, which is an old quality in Indian philosophy and in our own way of life. It is up to us all foster and sustain this spirit. I have mentioned about the quality of tolerance, which is the hallmark of any culture. We have wedded ourselves to the democratic way of life. Such a thing is absolutely necessary, especially when we have differences of language and customs, because democracy stands for settlements or discussion by consent of a majority and execution of the final decision by all. Dear sir, we have for acknowledgement your kind letter of yesterday's date, assuring us of your valuable patronage, subject of course to the question of price being settled to your satisfaction. While we are happy about your response, we are obliged to place before you certain facts which have a bearing not only on the cost of production but on the trade as a whole. The world is passing through a state of economic crisis owing a variety of circumstances like change of consumer taste on the one hand and a fall in production of consumer goods on the other. You will kindly appreciate that this twin factor has affected our trade as much as it has influenced the trends in other parts of the world also. As regards our future business relations, we would advise that it would be in the best interest of both of us if we sit and discuss the whole issue of prices in all its aspects. We believe that a free and a frank discussion will provide an opportunity for us to appreciate each other's point of view better and to arrive at a mutually advantageous arrangement. In all probability, our chief representative will be calling on you next week, when you could let him know the date and time convenient to you, so that we may go ahead with the arrangements for the meeting. Assuring you of our continued services, we remain yours faithfully.